great entrepreneur. Google. Why is Google successful? There was search. It's just that if you went to Alta Vista, the right link might be on the 5th page. You'll never get to it. Right? So Google gives you the same result. They just order it differently. So, and I'll give a couple of examples in the media domain as to what I feel the big vacuums in media are. But the bottom line is, a great entrepreneur observes a huge hole in a large market and rushes to fill it. And so you guys have probably heard of the book called Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen, and that talks a lot. It's a great book. It talks a lot about this. So typical disruptive sort of companies first start off very slow, right? It takes time to gather momentum, and then succeed. So now we come to the final part of the presentation, which is media entrepreneurship. Now I'm going to be poke fun at you guys because I'm not from the media industry. And I'm going to make some observations that I find very weird in the media industry. And in the last 6 months, I've spent an enormous amount of time in agencies in New York and in Asia. I spent 6 weeks in New York, 6 weeks here. So I have this great sort of comparative basis. I talk to those guys. I talk to Mindshare on 7th Avenue, Mindshare in Singapore. Mindshare on 7th Avenue, Mindshare in Singapore. So it's very interesting. So my observation are there are two very interesting things. Agencies are very unique as enterprise clients. It's not like a bank or Walmart or something, right? And something that is really unique, the same agency is very different in different geographies. And I'll give you examples of this. I have sold to large companies in different geographies before. So let's say I'm selling software to a large bank. So yes, so in the US, they may be more risk-taking and adopt the product a little sooner, but the basic structure of the meeting is pretty much the same. What does the product do? How much does it cost? Can you show us how it works, right? Here, very different here. So by the way, this was my attempt at getting the Mindshare in New York and Mindshare in Singapore. So, agency is a client. So I went with our Mitch Pellets, who runs sales across the US. So we sat for 15 minutes in the Mindshare lobby in New York, and I counted. 79 people showed up from the outside. 53 people from inside came out to greet them. And they hugged and kissed each other. I have never seen so many hugs and kisses in the lobby of a large company anywhere. I mean, it's amazing. For you, it's probably not. For me, it was remarkably weird. Why does everybody hug and kiss, hug and kiss, hug and kiss? It's just amazing. Cupcakes, donuts, and the lunch and learn. Very, very different. Of those 79 people, 50 people had cupcakes and donuts in their hands. In fact, I forget the name of this lady in New York. I should have asked Mitch. No, she started a cupcake shop. It's a very successful company, and she's located at cupcake shops right next to the agency buildings. And people buy from her and walk up to the agencies. And she's also made this innovation of making the cupcakes small. So the media planners don't feel guilty eating them or something. It's amazing. Probably 50% of the meetings, agency meetings that we have done have involved lunch and learn. Very different from others. It's taken me a little bit of time to just this whole agency. Yeah, it's good. It's social, I'm still not comfortable with the kissing, but I'm getting there. On a more serious note, this is very interesting. So Mobile Wallah, you'll hear about it later a lot, but so we like to think we are the only providers of audience for mobile. So if you want to know where can I find women 15 to 34 who are interested in fashion, only we can tell. So when we go and sell this in the US, what all the media planners are just, how do you get your data? What's the methodology? Show us some graphs. Are you good? In Asia, all of our creatives are winning awards. There is not I have done 50 meetings in New York in the past 6 months. Not one meeting has creatives come up. Not one. Say Mindshare people, the Jaguar Land Rover people we are working with. I have not done a single meeting in Asia where creatives have not come up. It's very, very strange for me. I mean, same agency, presumably with the same sort of ethos, the same, but the priorities are so different. And I keep asking these guys, okay, let's say you're a good creative, but you push it to the wrong people. Is it helpful? Very, 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 I mean, again, it's coming from a non-agency guy, but this is totally my experience. So now, hopefully something that is close to my heart, right? So I told you that great entrepreneurs find large vacuums in mega domains and fill them, right? So here, what are the vacuums? So I'm going to show you two sort of ridiculously large vacuums that I don't know if we can fill or not, but whoever fills, I think can be a very, very, very large company. So one is, of course, audience scale in every other media segment. Right? You want to advertise on TV, you want to reach moms. So you can go to Nielsen and they'll give you GRPs and what TV shows you can, with great reach to your audience. You want to do it on the web. ComScore is going to give you the data. You go on radio, Arbitron is going to give you the data, and so on. In mobile, there is no audience data. Right? None. The three largest, 80% of mobile advertising is in apps. And the three largest categories of apps, which is entertainment, lifestyle, and games, I mean, there is no data. And they offer you an audience that is just scale is beyond imagination. That's a huge, huge data. And in media, people are used to getting audience measurement. Right? It's a huge, huge vacuum. And then this is something that at least as an outside person, it's inexplicable to me why this vacuum exists. Well, I won't give you the reasons why I think them exist, but the vacuum. There's no media segment where you spend money without knowing where your ads are shown. Would you spend money on TV if you didn't know which shows your ads were running? Would you spend money on print if you didn't know which magazines or which newspapers or which page were? But people spend money on mobile without knowing where ads are. It's incredible. Millions of dollars are being spent. People have no clue where the ads are running. And the results are disastrous. So I won't tell you names, but my mindshare friends know that, that a couple of the things that I have shown recently to large brands, tremendously brand-safe products being advertised at markedly brand-unsafe media. Campaign selling a face cream for women, running on 86% of the impressions being thrown in media that is 80% men. I mean, there's no accountability. And we have shown these things, right? So this again is an enormous vacuum in media, which somebody will fill and will gain from. So that's sort of towards the end of my presentation. So in the end, what's good and what's bad about entrepreneurship. So what's more satisfying for me is the fact that my math equations become products, and these products get used. So in my lifetime, sort of the couple of things that I have done, my team has done. So we have invented technology that powers basically every website that runs the world today and makes it faster, which was chutney. And hopefully in mobile wallet, we are trying to change the conversation totally about measurement in mobile. And what do I regret the most, right? So I thought I should, it's not all. So what is it that I regret the most as an entrepreneur? The lost times, right? So this is a picture of my daughter from the time she was almost a newborn. The last picture, she's 16, taken about 2 weeks ago. So what ties these pictures together is that when each of these pictures was taken, I was at least 1,000 miles away. So one of my, so let me leave you with a different notion of disruption. So one of my favorite poets is the modern Spanish poet called Federico Garcia Lorca, who has a very well-known poem called Arbole Arbole, where it talks about this notion of disruptive distance. So the 10 pictures So these 10,000 miles are clearly the most disruptive distance in my life, which I would pay anything to get back. So thanks for listening to me, and hopefully this was interesting.